And oh my goodness, Spoon with the clutch play. That's a victory royale for Marietta. Anymore though, but does finish him off. Gets 2, gets 3. What a hit that hits him 65%. Wow! And does it go in? It goes in! It goes in!
The wide swing fight. 1, 2, 4v1. Might go 4v none.
Good evening, Bio Nation. I hope you're doing well tonight. My name is Matt Williamson, and you are watching Marietta College Esports. So tonight is the moment you have been waiting for. Our Rainbow Six team will be going up against their biggest rival in Rainbow Six history, Butler University, as part of the NACE Starleague Varsity Premier Series. I know the team has been very excited about it. There's a lot of history that has been going on between the two teams. And we are going to have Vincent Anderson joining us again to help commentate. So I'm going to allow him to go over some of the history of these two teams and how it's been back and forth. So I need to go over a couple announcements real quickly as we get things set up for our game. So first of all, let's go over our Rainbow Six roster. So we're going to have here our captain, senior Aaron Crumb Spoon. We will also have junior Michael Funka playing. We will have freshman Evan Burrell Evangelos playing, senior Dylan Poles Rez, and also freshman Spencer Showalter Static playing. And we want to also thank our head coaches, head coach Derek Games Grum, Matt Argerbright Strato, and Colin Stratford Knight. So let me go over a few announcements while I am waiting for the lobby invite. So first of all, I want to give a shout out to HyperX for being the official peripheral sponsor of Marietta College Esports. They have provided our facility with keyboards, mice, headsets, mouse pads, and microphones. We love the quality of their peripherals, and I'm not just saying that because they're sponsors. I have one of their HyperX headsets on my home computer, and I do love the quality of it. So if you want to check out some HyperX gear, please be sure to go to hyperx.gg/MariettaES. The QR code is up on your screen. We also want to give a shout out to Over the Moon Pizza for their support. Every Tuesday and Thursday, they will have their game night at their restaurant on Front Street in Marietta. They'll have a Nintendo Switch available so you can play some games like Mario Kart or Super Smash Brothers. I think they have Mario Party. And on Tuesdays, they do stream they'll show the matches that we stream on Twitch. So you can definitely go there on Tuesdays. Now, next Tuesday, spring break, so that probably won't happen. But the following Tuesday, you can definitely go there and cheer on the Pioneers. Of course, we want to thank all of our partners. By Blue Light we're still working with them to get blue light glasses. We got to work on some things on our front to make that happen. But they also hosted invitationals for Overwatch and Rainbow Rocket League team. Sorry. We also want to thank Elgato for helping us acquire the face camera so you can see our players. In fact, I made a little tweak to our custom UI to make it a little bit easier to transition to some of the different players. So hopefully that will work. I guess we're going to find out. Looks like I have been invited to the lobby here, so let me make sure I get into the right spot here. Of course, I want to thank Incrediware for providing the athletic compression sleeves. We want to thank Kovacs for providing the aim training software, and MSI for helping us getting some streaming equipment and some additional swag. We're also recruiting for our esports program, whether you're a current Marietta College student or a high school student. We have our Fortnite team, League of Legends, Overwatch 2, Rainbow Six Siege, Rocket League, Super Smash Brothers, and Valorant. We have our facility here on campus. We have several coaches. We try to make sure our students are doing well in the classroom, and we try to take a holistic approach to providing them with skills that they can be used in the classroom, in esports, and other endeavors. And scholarships are available for high school seniors and college transfers. So you go to our link tree, linktr.ee/Marietta Esports for links to our social media channels and the tryout forms. We are also, speaking of tryouts, have the tryout dates for March. So we'll have in-person tryouts on Saturday, March 16th. So if you're going to be on campus and you're a high school senior or college transfer, we can definitely arrange a tryout while you're in person. We will also have online tryouts on Sunday, March 24th. So that's going to be online through our Discord server. So this is a 3-step process. Step 1 is to fill out our recruitment inquiry form at bit.ly/MC Recruit. Fill out the tryout form at bit.ly/MC Esport Tryout and join the Discord server bit.ly/Pio Discord. Give me 1 second here. Just making sure. All right, yeah, just making sure since we are going to be spectating the match with Butler, just to make sure that they have access to our stream, and so everyone is watching is aware that we are going to be streaming on a 3-minute delay to make sure that there isn't any competitive integrity issues. And it looks like they're already starting to get ready, so I need to make sure that I have everything good on my parts. Let's see here. Like I said before, I'm testing out some new changes to our software to make sure that that's looking good. I need to hop into the Discord channel. That way Vincent has a chance to hop in and talk about the upcoming match. So hopefully he'll be hopping in real soon. That way you can hear some of the history of what's been going on with Butler and the Pioneers. Hello, I was just mentioning you.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm more than happy knowing that we'll get to be able to experience this game one day early.
Yes, and I was just telling everyone that I was going to give you the opportunity to share some of the history between the Pioneers and Butler as I'm getting the stream up for you.
Absolutely. So back early on in my career, I think we played against Butler back perhaps in the fall 2019, spring 2020. There's a good chance we played against them once and we might have lost to them, but this was still when the team was in its early stages. It was hard even getting 5 people together at the time to even on campus to even play, because when I got there in 2019, there was no Rainbow Six team, so we were still forming it. We had some subs here and there, but then once we got to about fall 2020, our rivalry truly started against Butler. We had another loss against them, I believe either the fall or spring season, and then I think it was spring 2021 or fall 20. I think it was fall or spring 2021. We had enough with Butler. We practiced all night for the night beforehand. We played super late into the evening, got food, came back, played all the way into the early hours of the morning. Not recommended for college students, by the way. Do not do this unless you are fully know you're capable of getting your assignments done. But we went to class the next day. We walked in on Friday, because this is back when the matches were on Friday evenings, and how excruciatingly bad it felt to know that we did all this practice and the first map we play, we lose to Butler, right? We lose 7-5. But on the second map, we do not falter. We claw back round after round after round, and we win 8-7 on the second map. And at this point, Butler's mental was so broken that we won 7-4, I believe, on the final map and closed out the game. And then I think after that, Butler beat us again in a following season. So we've had like this little bit of a rivalry going on where we always are trying to do our best against Butler. But that was also back when Butler had a different roster. So it's interesting to see what we're going to go against this time when they're going to get to another matchup against them.
Yeah, we're already in the ban phases, and I don't know if you had a chance to see any of the bans, if there were any surprises for that.
So it's looking like, okay, Marietta's on defense, so they banned Jackal Mira. Pretty standard bans. First Chalet, Mira's really, really powerful on Snowmobile, and also Mira's really good for holding library upstairs, so I see why they would ban that. Jackal is good for clearing out roamers, so I see why Marietta would ban Jackal. And Butler bans the Solus and Ram. Solus is a demon on defense, so I get why they don't want anyone having that much firepower and the capability to take out so many drones. And also Ram is, again, she has an automatic vertical play Roomba that can just get vertical play easily and make tons of noise remotely, and she has an R4C, so I can see why they would want to get rid of her, as she just does a bit too much by herself. But now it looks like we still have Loch Ness. I do know Big Chi and I know Loch Ness. Those are some OG Butler players that I have played against in the past. So it looks like Gravy, Mad Dog, and Jonesy are some newer players on the block. So it's going to be interesting to see how they match up to Marietta with some of their star players from the days like Spoon, Funka, and Rez. So Marietta is going to be defending the bar bomb site for the first site. That's going to be an interesting choice for the first site to be defending bar, but Marietta is ready to go here. With Butler, they have the Capital, Flores, the Nomad, lots of nice flex niche operators to be able to sort of gain map control methodically. Spoon is going to be holding top fireplace with the Kiba barrier. This is going to be really interesting. He wants to maintain control of this, and you have to spend some utility to clear out that pancake he's playing behind. We see that outside K9 Bauk, one of Butler's players, is going to be droning into office, trying to maintain control from there. But Spoon doesn't know that he's going to be pushing that instantaneously. And as you see, it looks like we're getting a master over push with Funka getting some initial pressure from the double door into Piano. And he also knows that the Kiba barrier from Spoon is going to be able to help Afunga fight this guy head on, but he gets an ADS assist from all the flashes. But he does get flashed out one more time, so he has to back up, and his shield gets taken out almost instantly. Now Funga takes down a drone, but has to retreat back. He can't play behind that shield anymore. Spoon's going to have a bit more pressure now that he doesn't have Funga to assist on that shield. He does take down Big G. That is an excellent pick from Spoon onto the K9 Bauk, but he does have self to fight the guy on the outside library Bauk window, and he gets a nice shot onto him. He has to retreat back down to the bottom library stairs because he knows he can't hold that much longer. Marietta is up 5-4, and Butler has a minute 35 left to take this round. So Marietta is still at an advantage here, but they still have to make sure they maintain this map control. Butler still has a minute 30, now minute 25. They can still get a lot done here. The next few picks will really have an impact on what's going to happen this round. Static is going to be taking a little bit more aggression below and going kitchen with Funka. Spoon is just going to sit at the bottom at this midway up snowmobile steps to get a fight onto Mad Dog, and it does seem he does try to take a fight with Mad Dog, but we're not sure if anything goes off. Spoon retreats back down into snowmobile into the connector under hatch, seeing if he can get a nice little angle on any Butler players above. And we do see that Spoon does get a pick on the Lockness from that hatch. What an excellent play. That's the Nomad down. But still, 3 players of Butler remain, but there's 50 seconds left. But Mad Dog does get a frag onto Static, who is playing below near kitchen. And now 4v3, Marietta still is at an advantage, but Gravy takes back that main advantage. But then it looks like Funga is going to be able to down a member of Butler. So now Butler is in a 3v3 scenario if they can get this res off. 30 seconds remain. Spoon is on a shred of HP, though. This puts Marietta at a huge disadvantage. Rez is going to be the last one alive if Spoon is going to be taken out really soon here. And Rez has to maintain his composure, because if he can use his Echo Drone to stun him off the plant, it's still a free win for Marietta. Butler has to go for the execute soon. 15 seconds remain. They're going to be flashing out onto the bar hatch, and Rez is completely flashed, and he's also Capital firebolted off in bar stock. Spoon has to do something to assist Rez right now, and now there's a plant going down, and Rez is going to try and get onto his cam and stun him off of it. And he tries to stop the plant, but it is not successful. And Jonesy and Mad Dog finish off the round with taking off Spoon and Rez. Such a close round. It was absolutely amazing.
That was
lots of good plays from either team.
Just very back and forth there. But yeah, Butler was just able to have that numbers advantage right at the very end, get the smokes out, forcing Spoon and Rez to move in, but there's just not much they could do at that point.
I was a little bit concerned because it seemed that Marietta they were up. They had that initial man advantage. They got the first pick. Now Spoon was on a shred of HP, which was obviously tough, but they're still at a man advantage. And Marietta started trying to reclaim a bit of map control. And like when we saw Static trying to rotate into dining and try to help out Funka. In my experience, if you have a man advantage, you generally want to have map control given up first, then your lives. Because as we can see, with those extra little picks that Butler was able to get, they were to slowly but surely, ever so slightly, crawl back that man advantage, and they were eventually able to bring it back to 3v3. Funka downed somebody top fireplace stairs, but he tried to escape because he knew he was going to be at a huge disadvantage there. Honestly speaking, those scenarios you can't really do much with. So again, honestly, still a really close round, but Butler was able to have that 3v2 man advantage with Spoon on 1 HP to close out that execute. So at the end of the round, I'd say Butler had a massive advantage. It was those mid-round frags that mattered a lot. Mariotta's going to be on basement now, so let's see how the push changes for Butler. The Ying is going to be pushing the trophy window, and Funka might be in trouble right now if he gets Yinged out. He has to make sure that he's not going to get flashed out by the Ying. But he does hear the repel noise and tries to prep his crosshair for a few angles that could be above. He tries to take a fight on Solar Stairs, but gets finished off by the Ying holding trophy window. But now he's down and finished off by Mad Dog. And so now Spoon knows that there's a few controlling Solar and trophy. So Spoon now has to give up a bit of this map control. He's not going to be able to fight all these guys by himself, but he's looking for a frag right now and is looking to see if he can fight anyone on the Fireplace double door. And Spoon does manage to kill the Dokkaebi. This ties Marietta back up in the 4v4, and now they have to chill out, answer the Dokkaebi call, make sure they're not emitting a sound cue off of that. And now Butler again readjusts themselves. 4v4 scenario.
Drop the bomb diffuser.
Minute 45 for Butler. They still have plenty of time. Again, Marietta has to understand the mid-round aggression is really, really important here. The more time that they can stall, the better. Let Butler readjust. Let's see where they're going to push from. Let Butler show their hand and then react accordingly. And Spoon gets droned out and perfectly fragged off the drone by Mad Dog. Excellent play there. There's not much you can do once you get droned so quickly. But Ace starts trying to ace the front wine wall and does get Thatcher, and the wall does get Thatcher, so we're going to have a nice opening into wine. And Static has to retreat back to Blue Hall to assist the team. It looks like we're going to have a wine push here from Butler as one of the final executes, as we only have a minute left. And Capital, not Capital, Ying manages to get the secondary hard breach onto the elbow wall. And now Ying is going to be getting out the objective, and unfortunate timing from Rez, but he does manage to throw the C4, but it does not seem to connect. And Rez is going to be in a massive disadvantage. He has to swing back across pillar and gets taken out by Loch Ness. Excellent hold for Butler, and now Gravy is going for the plant. And Jonesy also takes down Evangelos while he's at it, and also takes out Static to finish the round.
5 seconds left.
That was a really, really tough one as well. Marietta was holding their ground at the beginning of the round, but, you know, like, we saw that really, really good way to clear out pillar. So Ying opens up the elbow wall. She starts throwing her flashes. Rez is now like, okay, well, I can't stay here because now I'm full flash. So I try to swing left, and Ace is holding that long angle on the breach and takes out Rez immediately, like a moth to the flame. That was really, really good. And like, I can't argue with these plays. These are back and forth, really, really good gunfights. And Spoon, again, we're still getting some early picks. We're still getting these games tied up for 4-4 man advantage. We just need to make sure that we're maintaining it, and also, if we have to, we can give up a little bit of map control. Let's just make sure that we're playing off of wherever Butler's pushing. Butler has the advantage of being very, very coordinated with where they push. They say, okay, we're not pushing here anymore. Let's reroute back to trench. Start opening up wine walls. Let's Thatcher open. We'll Thatcher open the front wine wall, and then we'll get the elbow wall as well. And then we can I guess you could say boiler wall, whatever you want to call it, and we'll execute off of that. And it looks like we're going to be seeing a Sens Lion Amaru strat from Butler. This is going to be interesting. If I know anything, this probably is going to be a strat where Amaru goes below into wine and tries to go up that dining hatch and tries to get a surprise onto sight. But we're going to have to actually see, because the Sens might be able to also block off some sight lines with his red, I believe it's called. And the line's also really useful for just making sure that they have that control on the roamers. So we also have Rez on the Valk, Spoon on the Malusi as usual. So we're going to have a little bit extra intel this round. And I will say I'm a little concerned because Static still has 2 Frostmets in his inventory, and it's 2 minutes and 15 seconds into the round. Typically, you want all of those placed before the prep phase ends. So I really would like to see that placement more. But Spoon does get the initial pick, and also Funka gets a pick on that's both on the Gravy and Loch Ness, but Mad Dog does get a refrag back on the Funka. Marietta's in a 4v3 advantage. We're doing pretty good with getting the initial man advantage in these rounds. Marietta's still doing good, and then Jonesy does get another frag back onto Evangelos. That's the Echo, the anchor down, and Mad Dog also getting a frag onto Rez. It seems that the last 2 defenders are above the site for Marietta, which is not necessarily a bad thing. They have vertical control, but if Butler can get some control of sight on somewhere where they can't get shot from above, this could be an easy plan for Butler. And remember, IQ still has her frags and her scanner to take out any leftover Valk cams. So there could be a really, really easy plant gotten off here by Butler, but I don't know if Butler knows if sight is clear. Spoon has to run away from that frag on the 2-second frag timer. He's trying to hold above on the trophy window to see if he can get an easy pick onto the one holding outside. He sees the shadow, and he does get the pick onto Big Chi. And now we see that it's a 2v2, and so we might be able to get a frag onto the extra guy holding sight, but he's unable to. And then Jonesy does get the final frag on a static in a 1v1, very, very close.
That is just unfortunately. Spoon was just playing very well, but unfortunately that duo team was just able to gang up right on the site.
Yes, it's criminal how close these rounds are at times. Marietta gets a good man advantage and then just loses it so quickly. It's as though Marietta lays their trap. It's sprung well, but Butler reacts to it. They also understand the dynamics of Marietta's aggression. Butler still is making mistakes. They're losing gunfights. It is true, but they're also cleaning up their mess. They're making sure they're getting these refrags. They're making sure they're equalizing the man advantage because they know that is what counts. At the end of the day, it's all about that end game of the round. How are we executing off this? Now, that last round was a bit close. It was down to a 1v1. It was a bit closer than the previous rounds. So so Marietta is still not out of this. I could see very easily Marietta could win one of these rounds, very potentially this next one as they adapt their strategy. Spoon is on the Oryx this round, which is very, very interesting. Oryx is really, really useful as a roamer for being able to rotate so quickly with his dashes. However, he also can use it to, as you can see, he's running extremely fast through a fireplace that allows him to just get all the way to the hatch so quickly and just get across the map as fast as he wants. It's a really, really useful ability that just helps him get to his team whenever he needs to. And it makes him sort of a fun roamer to play in that sense. So we don't really see him that often, but it's always fun to see someone go for that kind of unique character. And he has Legion's T5 SMG, which is a pretty fun gun to use. Funk is going to be holding the car garage, which is some people call small garage, some people call it big garage. I don't know exactly what the consensus is on it, but he's going to have to give it up as he does get droned out, but does manage to kill a drone, so he denies a little bit of intel. But it seems he's being cleared out as Butler already has control of Trophy. He could be getting swung on Kitchen Hall right now, and he almost gets a free pick onto the Ying that pushes into Kitchen Hall. And he seems to be getting swung right now, and he almost gets cleared out, and he does get taken out by Gravy. So much discipline in that peak that he did. And Big G also manages to take out Rez. That's the Mutant, the Jaeger down from Marietta, but luckily we still are able to bring this back. We have to get another pick. There's Spoon getting a pick onto the one sitting and dining, and Prone's behind the couch to make sure he doesn't get swung again, but he does not expect another one swinging from dining. An unfortunate pick against Marietta, and Evangelist gets taken down as well. So it's just Statty against four of them. Not a very good scenario. This is not the main advantage you're going to want to see. We do see one dropping onto mine, and Static does not manage to get the pick onto Gravy. But he does have to do something here. And Alokness does take him out when swinging in Blue Hall.
Yeah, there's just not much you can do there when it's a 4v1.
Yeah, he also had no C4 to try to deny the play, and even if he did manage to get the pick onto the guys dropping, there's really just it's tough to. You basically would just have to have godly aim at that point. So not much you can do there, but again, it's how did we get to that point? How did we get to so many people falling off so quickly? And I will say, a lot of Marietta's anchors are being taken out so early in the round when the roamers are surviving a lot longer. I'm not sure how that's working, but I see a lot of like echoes or arcades or just even Mute, since he's a 1-speed now, just dying early on in the round when the roamers are staying alive well just fine. It seems that they're taking advantage of just going straight for sight sometimes, or just much lower, closer areas. There's an audio glitch right now.
Yeah, it's just a lot of shooting. It's not. I don't know what's causing that. We're just gonna have to deal with it.
Oh, that's Siege. I guarantee it. I don't know if you can pause and unpause if that does anything in the game.
I'm not gonna try. It's not a replay, so I don't want to test that. I don't know what that would do in the middle of a game.
Oh, no, you're good. I think it might reset when we get back into the next round. But in the meantime, we can see that Marietta is still holding on to the bar site, and we're just seeing just a more, again, vertical hold, similar to the one that we saw in the first round we played against Butler when they're taking bar. Jonesy is going to be sitting outside library, holding on to control of that window whenever he can swing off. And Status going to be playing in the library connector. And we see Jonesy seeing if he can get a little peek onto anybody that's trying to hold on the library connector, or the library small room. But a nice little zombie hold from Spoon here
I'm reloading.
in the library that's going to give him a nice sight line. But again, kind of a stalemate right now. A lot of drones being thrown out, lots of intel trying to be held. That first gunfight's going to determine a lot. It's all about that angular advantage, that angular awareness, seeing what you're exposed to and what you're not exposed to. And again, there he is. I see it again. The anchors from Marietta are dying so soon. How are Marietta's 1-speeds and anchors dying so early? It seems that Butler is just going for sight. They're not clearing out the roamers above. They're just going for sight. And there we go. Mad Dog does take out Static. That's a 5v2 in favor of Butler. And we do see that Funga does try to take on the Brava, but she does take out Funga instead. But again, I just predicted this from last round. I said a lot of Marietta's anchors are the ones dying first. You don't typically see that. You usually see the roamers like Spoon or Funga being fought first. But as we can see, Butler knows that Spoon is one of the strong suits of Marietta's team, that he's getting a lot of good picks right now. He's playing his game, he's in his zone, so they're just ignoring him. They're just ignoring him and going straight to sight. They're fighting Rez, they're fighting whoever else is playing rank anchor. Sometimes it's Evangelos, sometimes it's Static, sometimes it's Funka if he's playing in that library stairs position. They're just going for the anchors right now. So this is a really, really interesting way to play. Just ignore up top. We'll figure them out later. Let's get some easy man advantage on the anchors. So let's see how Butler's going to tackle this next round. They're at 5-0 against Marietta. Looks like we're defending the kitchen dining bomb site. And we have this was the round where Evangelos managed to get the clutch with the Echo drone on the dining plants. I don't know if that's going to happen in the same way this time, as the attackers are really good at clearing out the roamers, and specifically really killing Echo first. So he might have actually put himself in an unlucky position by picking the character. But we're going to have to see how Butler takes down this next round, and how exactly they're going to be breaking down the map control. And we see that Marietta is trying to hold on to Master just to ensure that the attackers can't get easy vertical play early on in the round. We see that we're having some early fights on the top library stairs as we have a gridlock being used by Butler, but Mad Dog will manage to get the first pick on the Spoon. That is not a pick that you want to see, as Spoon has been doing his best in these rounds to try to get some early picks, but Loch Ness takes out Funka. That's a 5v3, not in Marietta's favor. And now we're just down to the general anchors and flex players for Marietta. So Rez is going to be looking for a pick here, and he does see Gridlock's elbow, but unfortunately he is not going to manage to kill Gridlock, because if there's one rule in Rainbow Six Siege you have to follow, do not try to kill a 3-armor operator with body shots from an MPX. I even said that to myself in a ranked night that I was playing with Spoon just last week, I'm pretty sure. Like, if you try to kill someone with body shots with the MPX and it's a 3-armor, good luck. You're going to take 6 years to do that. We see the dining wall is going to be opened up, and Evangelos is going to be forced back into kitchen, sorry. And Static is still holding on to control of West Main. He's very, very concerned about someone walking up from Wine, but he could swing directly into the breach angle if he's not careful. He needs to understand the angular exposure, but there is one pushing down Trophy Stairs. He could have been swung there. Very, very crazy timing. Make sure he's aware of that exposure to the rotate hole. There's a player holding it right now. And Static might be looking for a fight here, but he's actually going to be almost getting shot in the back. He does manage to down Loch Ness, but Mad Dog shoots Static in the back, and Big Chief finishes off Evangelos and finishes the round in favor of Butler. And that's just another one bites the dust. But as we can see, Gridlock was able to cruise through that round. It's so funny that what I was talking about earlier was actually came to pass in that sequence, because I remember, I think I might have been playing Warden, something like that, and I tried to fight a 3-armor character. I forget who it was, but it just feels like you're shooting them for hours and they just kill you because the MPX does such little damage and 3-armor can just take so many more hits with the extra health. It's just such a tough thing. That's why the MPX, you have to go for headshots, or else you're going to be very inconsistent with killing your opponents. Up Butler are now have the perfect attacker split and are up 6-0 and starting their defensive rounds. Marietta are going to have to win 5 or 6 attacking rounds in a row if they want to successfully secure a spot in OT. So it's not saying that it's unheard of, but it's going to be something that Marietta has to focus up to do 1 round at a time. Spoon is going to be sitting on the Finca. It looks like we're going for a more standard comp here. The Finca is going to be useful for heals. Funk is going to be able to frag out with the Ash R4C. Evangelist is going to be on the Buck, which is really good for that vertical pressure. And Static with his extra cams on 0, he can get some more intel if needed. And Rez is going to be on the support role for Hard Breach, making sure that he has those Selmas ready to go, as he's such a versatile Hard Breacher as a character. So overall, not a bad choice. But Marietta is going to have to go up against a lot of util here. They're running Castle, Mai, Jaeger, and a Zombie and Maestro. Lots of util-heavy operators. Clearing it out is going to be really, really tough, especially when working their way to site. Bug is going to be fighting bottom solar stairs. And there we go, the default cam is shot top solar. I repeat, it is shot top solar. Jonesy does manage to get the first pick onto Evangelos, and that's going to put Marietta at a disadvantage. The Maestro LMG is a powerful weapon, and it will not stop shooting, even if you ask it to. 80 bullets in 1 mag, that's what it's going to do to you. So Spoon is going to be holding on to the piano double door. I'm going to see if he can take a fight onto these 2 Butler players holding on to top library stairs, but again, swinging into this is just so disgusting. It's so hard to fight this, but Bugga does manage to fight the Jaeger and somehow manages to escape with a literal shred of HP. But he does get a kill onto Mad Dog. That is going to result in it. Actually, I spoke to soon. Big Cheat does manage to take out Funka, as Funka had such little HP left, and Static and Rez are in a 2v5 scenario against Butler. Or sorry, 2v4. We did get the kill onto the Jaeger earlier. But Castle does manage to get the kill back on the Static. And now Rez is stuck alone up top. In Piano, he has to go against 4 of Butler's players. It still is theoretically possible with a minute left on the clock, but a lot of work has to be done. And we do see that Castle does run out onto the Ace and gets the final pick. Really, really tough scene. And that's going to be the first round, or the first map lost by Marietta to Butler. And Butler, they showed up to play. They showed up to win, you know? And although there was a lot of exchanges in the early on rounds, and it was actually seemingly rather close early on, that Butler really played off of that momentum. So overall, that's all he can do.
Like a lot of the rounds. I mean, they are kind of lose either one, then that also happened first start. Static making it because everyone else would have to retreat. Already established.
Yeah, and that's another thing is just really when you're an anchor, that's you have to really understand your angular exposure and say, hey, I shouldn't really be fighting anybody right now unless it is something that we actively know about. Like if I'm sitting on my Echo drone and dining, I shouldn't die to anybody because no one should be able to shoot me from above because my roamers are holding it. No one should be able to shoot me from the games hall because again, we should have control of that part of the map. So if we are on cams, we should have intel on this. We shouldn't be taking any fights as anchors unless our team knows about the location of the opponents and say, hey, they're pushing me now, I have to take this fight. We really just didn't give a lot of our roomers the chance to coordinate and help out in that sense. So that's just going to be tough. lots of flexibility from Butler. They're here to win, but Marietta are still capable of getting rounds. I still do believe that they are capable of bringing something back. They did just get 7-0'd, but those early defensive rounds, they're closer than you think. It's just about maintaining that man advantage. But Marietta is going to be starting on attack on Oregon. So these early rounds for attack are really, really important. As if we secure a good amount of attacking rounds, defense should be a breeze if we're able to maintain that advantage. Mm-hmm.
Very well itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely, and we've also had this against other teams as well. Like I think we were against the Michigan State team, and we lost 7-1 on the first map, and then we won the second map. I think it was 8-6, I think, and then the final map, I think we lost it 8-7. It was like or something like that. It was so close, and like the first map really. We were taken aback by how hard we lost, but we can still bring it back in following maps, because sometimes it's just not our map, it's just not our game, it's just not that specific time for us. But if we go on a different map and reset our mental, it's still very doable.
Breaks. I think we're gonna take a small break ourselves, but maybe back in just a minute. But I'm gonna go ahead and take that break, and since we should be into map 2, which will be on.
That's good.
right, and welcome back. We're already getting in, so let me get this started up here. All right, there we go. Yep. Vincent, go ahead and take over while I'm trying to see this audio issue that you're talking about.
Yep, sounds good. I'm gonna have the stream up on my monitor as well to see if it changes.
Okay, it's on a 3-minute delay though, so I mean, it's weird because I'm looking at it on OBS and it's picking up. So let me just check to see if there's something that happened with the settings.
Mm-hmm. It was just like when we were talking at the end there, I pulled up the panel to see on the Twitch stream, and like my audio was fine, but your audio would sometimes be just completely muted. Then it would come back a little bit, and then it would start going mute a bit again. I'm not sure what it was.
That is weird. Maybe my thresholds are off, but yeah, I'll take a look at this real quick.
And once the delay catches up, I'll see if it changes.
Okay. But yeah, let's take a look at some of these bans. So Butler's taking out the Ying, which is an interesting choice.
Actually, yeah, Butler is banning the Ying, and it seems that Marietta is going to be banning Maverick and Warden. Now, I think Spoon apologized in the chat, so that might have been a targeted ban. But also Butler banned Azami, which Spoon was playing the Azami on Chalet, and Azami is quite an amazing character. Even on Oregon as well, Azami is very, very annoying. But we do see the ability for us to play Fenrir, and Butler is immediately pouncing on that opportunity to play Fenrir, as they're already blocking him for kids' dorms for the first site. Now, pushing up white stairs against a Fenrir is probably one of the most unenjoyable things to do in Rainbow Six Siege in the current meta, as you will be nearsighted by the Fenrir gadget, and you're also making noise by pushing up into white stairs, and you could be peeked from at any time without knowing what to do. So I can see why Fenrir would be utilized by this team.
Activating camera.
10 seconds to
We do see that Marietta is going to be running a. Actually, I don't see Marietta using as a single hard breacher, so it looks like we're going for kind of a different comp, not going for any hard walls. We do see there's no secondary hard breach. There's no hard breach gadgets at all, so Marietta is not going to be able to hard breach any any wall on this map. So keep that in mind going later into the round. This could be a specified strat. And Grady instantly gets the first pick on Zafunka, who tries to push into small tower early on. That early aggression is very, very bold, but without some of the players haven't even left spawn yet. With how fast that pick was, that was just so fast early on. And Gravy is instantly, and as you can see, Gravy gets that pick and he is out of there. He is out of small tower. He's taking his pick and he's leaving. He's full HP, and now they're at a solid 4-5 advantage. So, or 5-4 advantage. So this is going to put Marietta in a tough spot really early on, but we don't see that Rez is very, very close, dangerously close to the bandit playing in Classroom. And you could see a fight against him really soon. But again, we're not sure exactly where the first piece of aggression is going to go, but Bandit does manage to drop onto Spoon. Or I think he might have been able to rotate to Spoon from Classroom, I'm not sure, but that is going to be a pick onto Spoon as well. And another pick for Lockness. This is a double kill for Lockness now. He could try to go onto a 4K if he's going to go for these types of peaks. But now Butler's up 5-2, and Mad Dog also manages to get a kill with his Fenrir MP7 onto Rez. And that is going to put Marietta in a 1v5, something that is I've very rarely seen get clutched, but Static does manage to get a pick on Gravy running out with the unneeded aggression.
I think it might have just been trolled a little bit right there, but just trying to get a quick pick, but Static was not having it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like they were just trying to go out and yeah, like those runouts. I mean, it's definitely not something you would do if the situation was much closer. But it seems that Lockness or Butler in general, once they get that much of an advantage, they aren't taking the round as seriously. Some a little bit extra runouts here and there. But Marietta's still going to try, and again, these attack rounds,
protect your
they're going to be harder in general. So getting these initial bases is going to be really tough. But it looks like Marietta's already picking before they even know where the site is, they're already starting with that rush strat. They want to try that rush strat out.
Attackers have located a bomb.
We do see that Butler has access to the Mira. So this is going to be another thing where, remember last time Mira tried this rush strat, let's see if Rez is going to get a little bit timid from seeing that Mira initially. He's going to have to smoke that Mira off, or he's going to have to just run into it. Because last time that Rez encountered a Mira, he slowed himself down. He's like, oh, there's a Mira there. They could beat me. Because you're going to be so afraid of what that Mira is capable of.
5 seconds to insertion.
So let's see what Marietta loads into.
Attacker's objective is to defuse a bomb.
I was checking the stream, making sure that it was, the delay's almost caught up, and I can see if your audio.
Yeah, I've adjusted the volume settings. I have a noise gate on here where it doesn't catch if it's too loud. And I think the microphone volume was a little too low, so that's why it was a little bit spotty. But I think it's better now.
That sounds good. And we do see that Redis is already going for those smokes, but he doesn't manage to fully smoke out the Mira, but he does get to the rotation. He does take out the Mira. Spoon manages to get the pick on the cheat. That puts Marietta at a 4v3. But Marcus instantly gets a nice pick off the Redis, who was on the blitz. And now 3v3 scenario, but Spoon almost has that plant down. And there's two different C4s that the attackers could use to deny, but they're not fast enough to get there soon. To get there soon in time, but there is one holding on to the laundry stairs.
Have eyes on the diffuser.
There's two holding on the laundry stairs. Even though they're taking a fight. And there's a second fight, but now we know that one is playing right next to the diffuser, and it's all to Funka to hold on to that defuse. He could throw grenades to stop it. He can do anything he wants, as there is some nade denial from the line, but we're not sure how Funka's gonna stop the defuse.
And seconds left.
Very, very close. And now the defender physically cannot have enough time to get the defuse off. And Funka does manage to get the kill and finish the round. So even if Funka dies there, luckily, Marietta still would have won. So really, really good timing from Funka, and that is the second round for Marietta. Won with that rush strat. Again, that rush strat is a huge change of pace. It's really, really, really good for those types of scenarios when you're not sure if the defenders are going to get overconfident, and you just go for it. And Rez gets that pick onto the rotate. Spoon gets that pick, I believe, from Freezer. Really, really, really good.
Yeah, it's one of those high risk, high rewards, and that time Butler was not prepared for it, and Marietta was able to capitalize it, and great patience from Funka to wait for the right time to go for that engage. So now it's one round apiece.
Exactly, and we saw earlier on, Rez was not too hesitant on the Mira window. He just threw his smokes and went in. That's exactly what we need to see. Now we do see that that Marietta is going to now have to attack the basic bomb site again, but obviously no two rush strats are going to work the exact same time in a row, so Marietta's going to have to switch with the comp a bit.
5 seconds left.
They're going for a more usual comp with a Heart Breacher and a Flores.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Potentially walking down back stairs or walking down Freezer stairs and countering the cam intel there. But we still need to worry about the plenty of defenders that have gadgets that are going to slow down the attempt of Heart Breach, and we have Cade Tubarao on defense, which is going to make it really, really difficult to breach the hatches onto Freezer and Meeting. Those two hatches are very, very important for getting control of. So now we see that Spoon is going to be hopping into Shower Hall, and Funko is going to be pushing Dining, and we're going to be getting that initial map control. However, security is still a threat for Marietta, as Lamai seems to be playing. I think it's Lamai is still playing near security, unless Lamai is actually below security and then Freezer. But it looks like, actually, yes, he is. Lamai is sitting in Freezer, and now he's starting to walk up the Freezer stairs. And now he's taking a bit more map control, and he's going to the top of those stairs and waiting. So this could be an easy pick for Lamai, but Spoon is all the way up near Armory, and is running back to top white stairs and could meet a fight against Lamai very, very, very soon. But Lamai is running back down Freezer stairs. He's not going to want to take that initial fight. And Spoon does try to fight the Freezer stairs, but he sees that no one is there. And he might try and re-peek it and walk down with his team, but Evangelist is going to try and get this hatch open, but it might be a situation where Tubarao is going to maintain control of it. And Marietta, let's take a look. Marietta does not have any keys, so getting control of these hatches is impossible if he's okay there. You see that Funka does manage to take out Mad Dog, but
Attackers
gets
located
refragged by
bomb.
Big Chi.
Attackers dropped
so
the
that's
diffuser.
another
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
textbook trade for Marietta to hold on to. But Spoon is still at an HP disadvantage right now. He's going to attack one player sitting on site, but he does use the grenade to force him out of his position, but he knows that Amiro is going to be holding that window. But the C4 does manage to take down Spoon as he's trying to get more aggression onto Laundry. And we see that Evangelist is just now peeking in the freezer when he might have been a lot more helpful when Spoon was really close to Laundry to at least provide a little bit of another angle to contest from. So a little bit of a time difference there. The Static is now following back up in Laundry. Just takes Spoon's place, and Rez is now holding the flank as he still has one air jab left, but he is concerned that one could be flanking really close. But there are 30 seconds left, and there is a good chance that the defenders are just waiting on the site. Decade is going to be holding the mirror window in Laundry, or in the which holds on the Laundry. And now Evangelist is going to try to fight the mirror. It looks like he might have a small lag, but we can see that Evangelist does fight Gravy. That puts Marietta in a 3-2 advantage. But Marietta still has time to bombs, puts it back into a 2v2. Regis
Attackers bomb
the mirror
diffuser
now,
has been
and
dropped.
he does get taken
5
out
seconds to go.
by the Silverado, which means that the bomb needs to be planted soon. And you see that there's an instant trade onto the person that's planning, and that puts Marietta at a loss for the third round. So as you can see there, Rez tries to go for the plant, but the site hasn't been cleared, and he gets peeked to deny the plants, and no one follows it up. And then when trying to push and kill the rest of the defenders, they hold on to their angles, and the round is effectively lost because the diffuser is now in the defender's hands. So really, really tough round for Marietta.
Attackers
Now
need to
we're seeing
locate
that
the
Butler's
defused
going
bomb.
to be up 2-1 now. Marietta still has an attack round. This is still really good. But if Marietta manages to get a couple more here, they have a very, very good chance of pulling through on defense. It's just about taking it one round at a time. Because we have a lot of value in these attacking rounds. We just need to see how Marietta's going to push this next one. Again, Marietta no hard breacher with this comp. They do not use a hard breacher when attacking Kate Thorns, it seems. Which means they're not going to be able to get any pressure on Attic. They're not going to be able to open up the master wall. They're not going to be able to open up the trophy wall, as we can see that Gravy is next to. So they're going to have to switch everything the old-fashioned way, which is going to be pretty interesting. Funka is going to switch to the
5 seconds
Martyr. He's
remaining.
going to see a Finga, a Lion. This might be a bit more of an aggro heavy comp.
Attackers' objective
Last
is to
time we
locate a
pushed
bomb
this
and
site, I
defuse
think
it.
we also tried to take small tower, but now we're just going from the regular police, or at least the main push, with Static and Spoon pushing from small tower this time. We do see Legion going for that initial gunfight on small tower. Let's see how this fight differs from last time. The second does drone out the one player in Shower Hall, but Spoon also is worried about one player deep from dying. But then also there's another one at top small tower. Spoon know if this player is up there. He might not know. We still need to clear out top small tower as there is one still playing there. Again, this is a massive disadvantage for Marietta. It's just the difference in intel. As we can see, Solus is now pushing down the top small tower stairs. So this is another disadvantage for Marietta, but Funk is going to try and take a fight for another trophy. If he can manage to get a pick there, that would be absolutely huge for Marietta. Yeah, these systems of aggression are showing that we really just have to slow down here. We can't just walk in the side. But it looks like we do see that Gravy is down for Butler, and Spoon does manage to finish the kill with a grenade, meaning that Marietta's up 5-4, and again, maintain that man advantage, but she does manage to get a pick out on the Spoon, and Funga gets taken down by Mad Dog. That cross-step shot is really, really important for Butler to maintain, but Chester does get revived by, I'm not sure how he got revived actually, I think he was already dead. But he did. But I think he just got manually revived. That's what it was. But now Rez to be taken down from top armory as he tries to relay the information to Evangelos and Static. But now it's a 2v3 scenario, and Static's going to be using his last line scan until he takes out Evangelos 3v1. Static has to do it all in order to get this last pick. He does manage to take down the Maestro 2v1. He does not have control of Diffuser. It looks like Butler is just going to hold on to diffuser control, make sure that they get their numbers. Still a whole minute left on the clock. There's a lot that can be done here for Static, but he needs to utilize this one last frag grenade, this one last drone he has. He needs to utilize it all. because there's a Meister cam on Static right now. 2 Meister cams make it. They know exactly where Static is, and he doesn't have anything that he can do about it. He tries to throw a frag back onto the souls, but he can't push out of that breach because it is only 1 panel open instead of 2 panels open. And there we see the pinch from Big G. He waits for Ace to make the swing onto the Solus, and then he fights him from top white, which is an excellent play by Big G from Butler. One of the OG players that I played against back in my career. Really, really good. All right, now Butler's up 3-1. Marietta have 2 more attack rounds they have to play before they switch to defense, but they do need to make sure that
Attackers
they're getting
need to locate and defuse bombs.
I would love for them to get the last 2 rounds, but they do need to at least secure the next one if they want to really have a strong start going into the next one, because no one likes to go on to defense knowing that you're down 5-1. A 4-2 is still doable. Marietta is going to be attacking Butler as Butler's holding the kitchen heating site. So we're just going to see that Butler's doing a normal castle strat, making footholds onto the meeting wall and reinforcing the wing side.
I think Spoon's going to go with the glass pick, which I haven't seen him play that often.
5 seconds to go.
The glass, honestly, the glass might not be that bad on this site. As you can see, if you're looking at the stage where Fenrir was playing, there is a very large amount of sight lines that makes it sort of very open for the defenders to play around. And so when you're trying to play stage, it's really, really tough to get a plan off just because of how many people there are near you. So if Glass can throw his smokes down on the stage, he can sort of play in his smokes where the defenders can't see him. He isn't a warning, but he can see them through his smokes, and then he can effectively shoot any defender that tries to walk up and deny the stage play. That's just a theory that I'm having, but there's plenty of other ways you can play Glass here. It's just about, he's probably just playing directly off of his smokes. You see the defender guys, he's slowing Glass down. And it does seem that he gets pre-fired by Mad Dog, and that is going to be having that initial pick lost for Marietta. And now Marietta is going to have to continue this round in a 5v4, or 4v5, I guess you could say. So now getting that back control, we got to throw that deeper at some point. But we see that the next 2 picks are taken by Gravy, and now Marietta's in a 5v2. Really unfortunate.
Start loading.
The Static is going to have to try and get some sort of picks here, get some sort of map control. But the diffuser we have lost control of diffuser, which is not something that you want to see exactly. But Static does manage to get a pick onto Mad Dog, who swung directly from Showers Hall. 2v4 scenario from there, but they still need to maintain control of the user, and now Static is taken out while trying to reclaim control of Ryan. And Resley's shoved the back while trying to push Shower Hall. Again, just like the Marietta needs to turn this around. They need to make a change how they're playing. Right now, they're just going for individual picks. They're not trying to take this in a sense that's like, okay, can we get vertical control? We're just sort of pushing them horizontally and just going for these gunfights. We're trying to out-gunfight these guys, which hasn't been working early on. We just need to think of something new, think of something that we can do to change this, right? What I'm thinking is, again, we see the Spoons on
Defenders,
the
protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
We know that we're going to be seeing Butler going onto the basement site. Some sort of vertical control here. Marietta managed to win this site with a rush strat, but when using a conventional strat, it was very, very tough.
Bomb
We're trying to get
located
that
by
point down
attackers.
at the end. Again, just making sure that we are holding on to this advantage when we have map control, when we have an advantage in general. We just need to make sure that that is maintained. Playing against the mirror is really, really tough. We need that freezing control from
10 seconds remaining.
From either Evangelos or whoever else is pushing down freezer last time. We need
5
to
seconds
control
remaining.
that we're pitching on the side. We do see that we're going to have a Lion
Attackers are
and a
moving to
Gridlock
defuse a
for
bomb.
Marietta, which is going to be interesting because the Gridlock's going to be useful for the flank watch, but we're going to have a lot of flank watch here because Nomad and Gridlock is going to really cover a lot of flanks. There's going to be a lot of noise made that the defenders try and make play. But again, it seems that we're already getting some early aggression from Marietta. Trying to and one of the Goyo canisters seems to have been destroyed by that sound cue. And Evangelist does get the early pick onto Lamai that is very, very huge, actually, as Lamai likely did not have that many Lamai discs to throw out early on, so that's all main denial for the later round destroyed. And I hope he puts that pre-fire onto the Goyo, but is unsuccessful and managed to get that pick. But Marietta is still up, 5v4. They need this round if they want to go into defense. Really good, strong start. We can see the line scan, the shooting itself. But Marietta does not make any exact plays off of it. Just plenty of track stairs going out to cover the flank. But Spoon's in a bit of a pickle right now, playing ace on blue, trying to hold on to this fight with the Mira just sitting on her wall, just trying to make sure that Spoon can't get out of the area that he's playing on barrels. He's going to need some help to clear out that area. Evangelos is going to be clearing out the 3-9 with Funga's now going off. Here, Freezer looks like trying to take some fights, but Spoon does manage to get a pick onto the Goyo as well. This is absolutely huge as the Goyo does push out into blue, it seems, to try and fight Spoon, which is not the most advantageous option. But now this puts Butler into an even further man disadvantage. And now there are two players holding onto the mirror window. And Spoon does manage to cross onto the right side of the doorway so that he can have a little bit more breathing room. But now we have one player playing on pillar, one player on the mirror window in closet. But excellent play by Big Chi. But Rez does manage to get the refrag. Now it is a 1v4. Gravy needs to get 3 kills, excluding the down Funka. He does get the first one. And he does get the second one. Now it's 1v1 all with Rez. He needs to get that res on the Funka, which he does manage to do so. Now 2v1, 45 seconds remaining. Gravy does kill Funka, so now it's just Rez, but Rez does manage to finish the kill. And Marietta takes that final 6th round for taking offense.
That was the aggression that we needed to see from the Pioneers, starting with Evangelist getting that very early pick. And I think that just led the rest of the way that they were able to charge it. Spoon getting a very clutch pick while he was hiding behind the barrels. But yeah, great job by the Pioneers to stay alive in this match.
Exactly. And those early picks, again, they do have a lot of value. The return on investment.
Defenders protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
The fact that we got that early pick on the line, like I said, for those of you that don't know, Lamai has a regenerative ability, which basically means that he starts out with very few Lamai discs, which can catch grenades, and then he gets more as the round goes on. Meaning that if you want the maximum value possible from your character, you're going to want to stay alive for a long time to get that regeneration, to throw out more and more discs as the round goes on. But since he died so early on in the rounds, there was almost no game denial for Butler to play off of. On top of this, we also see that Goyo pushed out to try and gain that main advantage against Spoon, but he loses that 1v1 that's already putting Marietta in a 3v5, 5v3 scenario in their
Attackers
favor.
must locate
So
and
that
defuse the bomb.
really set them up for a lot of good plays in the following context of the round. Now they're starting on defense. They're going to be holding on to Kids Dorms. Let's see how Butler is going to attack this. They're going to be playing a Grim, which is pretty interesting. And the Gokubi, which as we've seen is becoming more meta lately with her DMR being more and more useful. So I'm interested to see how they're going to push us. It looks like we're going to be seeing an attic push from Butler, trying to control T3 and work their way down. Static's going to be, again, Static loves to play Fenrir on the top right stairs, as you can see. Static's nice Fenrir grabs. But now, Ace does manage to get the wall open on Master, but Funka takes plenty of damage, and he does get taken down by Big Chi, which is going to be the first pick in favor of Butler. That's not what you want to see when you're playing on Marietta's team. Now Marietta has to do something to equalize his man advantage, or
A bomb has been located.
figure out a way to sort of just hold on to site, not the plan. We have the
Attackers
Mother
bomb
Drone.
diffuser has been
But again,
dropped.
Grim could be a massive problem for Marietta. It can be utilized to clear out the entirety of Attic if he wants to. And it's that's exactly what they're doing. The Capital maybe trying to open up the Attic wall as we speak. But we do see that Mad Dog also has his secondary heart rate tools, so he may have used those as well. There it is, there's a secondary heart rate tool that we were talking about. It's Mute Trick. His Mute Jammers don't have plenty of radius to stop that that secondary heart rate yet. Just a lot of methodical play here trying to get map control. And Mad Dog is trying to open up the Kid Storms
window, and Rez is just holding on to his position, but one is already on the default spot, but Rez does not manage to take out Big Chi, and now Big Chi is on a rampage. Now that he has the map control that he needs, he takes out
Attackers recover
Static.
the diffuser.
And now Spoon is going to have to make his way back to site. And he is now on a 1v5. Can he do anything to stop this? He tries to try to play, but he does not manage to do so. And now he is taken. Oh, and Greedy accidentally manages to kill his own teammate with the Goyle canister. And he also takes out Spoon in the process. Unfortunate, but Spoon was in 1v5 there. Really, really tough to deal with, and especially considering that the Goyle canister was opened up. It effectively denied his abilities to even get into the site, so that would have given Butler plenty of time to plant the diffuser. So now Butler is up 5-2. Marietta have to win.
Attackers need to
these
locate
following
and
three
defuse
rounds
as
if
many
they want
bombs
to tie
as
it up.
they can.
They are on defense, so it is very doable. We just need to make sure that we're holding on to the advantage that we do manage to obtain. We're going to see Funka on the Solus and Evangelos on the Smoke. So this defensive round on basement, we do see that Smoke is being played a lot less, but I still love the character as I played it for so many years, and I think that if you are good with the character, he is still very, very, very strong. You just have to really know how to play him. He's not a character that you can essentially pick up as easily as
10
you
seconds
see
left
since he
before
doesn't have the
insertion.
smoke, doesn't have the shield that he used to have.
5 seconds to go.
So Horty Blue is a bit more difficult in that sense. We do see
Attackers
the
must
Amari
locate
and
and
the
defuse
Lions
the
strat
bomb.
coming out from Butler. This might be something that we've never seen before. And this is the basement site. Amaru on a basement site is just very, very unorthodox. There's really no reason to do it because, as we know, Amaru is only good going up top somewhere, but you see that Amaru is actually going up to the T3 area to try and clear out the roamers more effectively, and the line scan combined with it allows her to walk all the way down to see one of the Funka that denies that push and takes down Big Chi, and Lion's just a bit too far away from her to get the refrag, so now Funka is able to hold on to the kitchen corridor and go upstairs. Brandon's gonna have to fight Funka, but Funka's ready for this next fight. It's Mad Dog versus Funka right now in this next fight, but this does take down Static, and that's the Malusi taking down. Now Marietta's in a 4v4 scenario with a very slight HP advantage against the Grim, but Funka also takes a bit more damage, and now it's all tied up. But one is now going to take down Spoon Kitchen 3 with a suppressed EMR. Now Funka is being pinched, but he does manage to fight again, but now he's scared from safety. He takes out the Kennedy, but does he eventually get refragged by the Ace? Now Marietta's in a 1v3 with Evangelos on the Smoke with a extended barrel for grip SMG-11. Let's see how we can hold on to the sights with what he's got.
Come on, Hype.
By attackers.
Looking like we get the initial push on a default. Unfortunate, tough round. It's really, when you're in those 1vx scenarios as Smoke, instead of, you really just want to look for fights here. As you can see, Evangelos was sort of sitting near elbow. The only reason I'm going to give a comment on this is because this is the exact role that I played. Since you're in a disadvantageous scenario, you're going to want to just go for stuff. So instead, I would have started pushing Tarp. I would have started pushing somewhere where there's lots of individualized engagements, because in these types of shooters, you're going to want a lot of 1v1s. When you're in a 5v1, it would be so much more awesome if it was 5 1v1s, right? So you want to push areas where the terrain enables you to get into plenty of 1v1 fights. So when you push Tarp there, you're pushing into one doorway in which one person can peek you at one time. You kill him, boom, now it's a 1v4. 1v3, etc. When you're sitting in supply like that, you can be peeked from the rotate, you can be peeked from the long haul, you can be peeked from the default plane near the chassis, which is where it was peeked from, you can be peeked from freezer door. You want to move yourself to areas that physically can have
10
less
seconds left
opponents.
before insertion.
So that way you can sort of get your bearings and fight people one-on-one.
5 seconds
Because if
remaining.
you want any chance of winning that round, you have to go for those quick fights. and
Attackers'
reposition
objective is to
yourself.
locate a bomb
So
and
now moving to
defuse
the
it.
next round, Butler's up 6-2. Marietta have to win this next round on defense if they want to hold on to this series.
They have to win every round if they want to hang on to the series at this point.
Exactly. They'll have to win this. They'll have to get everything back up to OT and at least win one round after that to maintain their position. Mad Dog gets an early pick on the Funka. That is not what you want to see from Marietta. And we see that Marcus is already opening up the master wall with a micro EMP being used to make sure that any wall denial is taken out, so the mute jammer effectively denied. That's also a lot of map control laying down super early. We're not even hit mark. Rez does try to get some wall bangs onto Mad Dog, and Mad Dog does get a little low HP, but he gets out of his life. Marietta still at a relatively close scenario, but they're at a 5v4 disadvantage, so they do need to make sure they're holding on to map control or getting some sort of pick here. Supposed to be playing the top Fraser stairs. He's gonna try and go for a nasty flank, and he does seem to do so onto the Nomad in positions, but he walks right into the crosshair of Jonesy, and that is going to be a tough pick for a Spoon to have to swallow. But that is now Marietta in a 2v4 scenario. Rez having to go for some sort of fight, having to make sure that the plane is denied. He has his evil eyes, and he's playing everything into it. Now one downside to one window, trying to open that up, trying to give some pressure onto Rez. He has to go for something. And there's the Grim Bees that is going to try and spawn Rez, which he doesn't spawn by bees, as you can see. And he's getting vertical play on by the block as well. At the same time, there's not much where he can go. All the while, the plane's going down at the same time, but he does manage to take down the bucket.
Attackers are activating the bomb diffuser.
Mario's in a post-plane scenario, but they are in a 2v2, but they know exactly where he is. And Evangelist does get the pick with the SP-11. And now it's a matter of trying to get that play off, but this he can't get beat because Jonesy is just too far away to stop this, and he's going to try and swing in or stop it, but he can't do so. And Marietta does win this round due to positioning of the Grim. That was just, I'm just still trying to process that. That was amazing.
It's just
Evangelist gets that pick onto Ace, and it was just over from there.
I know, and during the whole time, Rez was being swarmed by the bees, and yeah, shout outs to Evangelos for just hanging tough and be able to make that round work.
Exactly. Like, we saw that, and that was a deadly combo, as you can see. Matt, you probably haven't seen too much Grim gameplay, as he's only been relevant for at least a little while with the recent buffs they've been giving him. But with those bees, if you're within the radius of those bees, you're not just pinged, you get your whole location is in real time followed, almost like a pulse scanner. You have your exact location completely followed the whole time, so the buck can just buck below and open up with his shotgun and see exactly where you are and get free damage onto you. So Rez is in a really tough scenario right there, but he managed to get that wallbang headshot onto the buck, which turned the tables on the round. And then eventually swings the ace as the ace is aggressing onto Rez as he kills the buck. He gets that headshot onto the ace and then manages to defuse as Grim is still held outside of his window, which takes forever for that animation to allow you to swing in, and in which case he was not able to position himself properly to stop them from getting played off.
It was everyone's reaction whenever a play gets a Grim to go, not the bees.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about with Nicolas Cage. Yeah, everyone. Some people, they're a bit younger. They don't know the context of the movie. But that is what I was thinking about when I first saw it. But they've buffed Grim so much because early on the radius of his bees were much smaller, and the deploy time was much slower. So they gave him just a much larger radius to work with. And they also gave him access to, I think he has EMP grenades, and he has a decent gun, and he's 3-speed, and he has zoom sight. So not a horrible operator in my opinion these days, especially for rank. There's some funny plays with these. Rez does get the first fight and does take out Lockness. That's the hard breach for Butler down. That is a huge pick from there. No hard breach is an insane pick. Now we do see that Rez does get finished by the Dokubi, so that is going to put Marietta back at 4-4, but that trade is honestly really nice. Rez's util is still in play. Ace cannot have his util playing. Well, you see that Evangelist also gets a pick onto Josie and it takes down Gravy. That's a huge play holding on the elbow right there with no shield. Really good plays there from Evangelist. Holding on the elbow like that is the bread and butter of how Smoke is to be played, and I couldn't be more proud. That was an excellent job holding on with that double kill, and now Butler is in a 2v4 scenario. Still has a minute 20, but they're going to have to be very methodical with how they get these picks because they can't get traded, or else it's going to be a 1v4. And Funka is so close to having that fight onto the Jackal, but he does manage to take Mad Dog, which is an excellent play, and Spoon gets the final kill on the Big G. And Marietta is clawing back round by round and gets this next defensive round, despite the fact that we had we had some difficulty early on. Rez having that first fight against Ace was huge. Because if you don't know, when your hard breach dies at the beginning of the round, that is massive because now the defenders know that you can't breach anything. And as far as they know, unless you're running double hard breach or multiple hard breachers, but they know that one of your most important characters is now dead. So that is a huge
Defenders
difference.
protect your bombs
Even though
from
Rez
being
died,
defeated by
his
attackers.
blade canisters are still in play because they are still fenced around the map, but Ace can't really hit his now that he's dead. So that is sort of like the worthy trade that's made. We're going to see what Marietta is defending the kitchen meeting site. This is the site where men are made because holding on to this site can be really tough because it's one of the less optimal sites to play. As you know, upstairs and downstairs are probably the most optimal defensive sites. And then these middle sites tend to be a bit harder to hold onto just because of the awkward
10 seconds
positioning of
left.
the bombs and how it's all in the middle of the map. And Marietta might have
5 seconds remaining.
as we all historically have had trouble with holding on to these.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Now we do see that Marietta playing upstairs in the attic, reinforcing off part of the attic wall and then making a rotate into T2, as it's called, the second floor of the tower, in order to help assist Marietta or go for an easy flank. So now Butler is going to be commencing their push onto the tower. They're going to have their usual droning, making sure that they have everything secured there. And we also see that Ash is pushing from master bedroom. We might see a little skirmish between Spoon and Ash really soon. And this is going to be an interesting fight, depending on how Spoon's going to take this first one. But Timmy can get also pushed by the thermite as well from the window. And we do see that the master wall is also opened up. And Spoon is going to get now. But Static does take out the hard breacher, and that is another hard breacher dead early on again. Ray Brady also got extremely low HP, but Jonesy does get the free frag on the Funka and the frag on the Rez, and also another frag on Spoon, but Evangelist does get the frag onto that dog. So now we're in a 2v3 scenario, but still very winnable for Marietta. We just need to get 1 to 2 more picks, and we're right back in it. So don't count anyone out right now. Brady is still on very low HP. This game Evangelist and Static Evangelist can still deny the plane with his Echo Drone as well. But he might be able to get some sort of pick with against the Rams on the left side of the window, but he does not know that she's out there. And this is just going to be a bit of a stalemate right now. The attackers are droning. They do not want to lose this next round. They do not want to lose this control. You see Evangelist is going to back off a bit. Give up control of Green Hall. Let them have a little bit more space. But Big Chi is going to start having his drone really close to the once he does fight one on split, and now it's Jonesy taking out Evangelos, and now it's Static in a 1v2. This is not the most optimal scenario. The plane's going to start going down, and now Static is going to try and fight Kitchen Hall, but he doesn't realize he gets shot from the window. That is a big disadvantage for Static. And now he's in a post-plane scenario, which all attackers have to do is put
Defenders
time.
have eyes on the diffuser. Attackers need to protect it.
Static is again pushing up and going for his picks. He's going to have to see what he can do with what he's got. He has a little bit of space to get for a pick, but he does try and fight the Ram, but it does get taken out. And that is GG's all around for Marietta. Again, really close. We had some good fights there. We honestly could have taken that round back, but there were just too many deaths that were taken that resulted in us being in an disadvantageous post-plane scenario. So not too much you can do there. But overall, GG's.
But all things considered, when the fact that the Pioneers had their best picks do and work their way back, that was definitely possible. So I mean, that shows some grit from the team. Like the long Butler first game very well, but
Yeah, I agree. I feel like that was very winnable though, because as we saw, the Heartbreacher was taken out almost instantaneously that round as well. We just kept taking more and more fights, and that's always a bit of a gamble at times. So that was really tough. And Butler, although they did get that win there, it was a little close on Oregon, and I hope that they give that a bit of a review, that making sure their Heartbreacher isn't dying so early, because those picks are really impactful, and Marietta was very, very capable of bringing that back there. So, really, really good job all around from both teams.
Hope the team. There's still some more Rainbow Six. Of course, we do. Got match. But you they're playing Kentucky. That rescheduled. We'll see if that then a player.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very exciting.
Yeah, I agree. I'm excited to see St. Clair. Played against them way back in my years, and they're a pretty good team. But we got some rounds against them though, so they definitely they're capable of losing, but they're still a really really strong team. Really cool team to play against.
Vincent, once again, thank you so much for everyone who's better than.
Oh no, no problem. You know, like Siege is just one of those games where there's just so much stuff in the game that you kind of need someone who has just spent so much time playing it to understand why certain operators use their gadgets certain ways, or why someone's at a disadvantage here or there. So I think it's helpful for the viewer because it can be a hard game to understand sometimes, especially if you're a casual player, to see why people are going certain areas. So I think it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Build on.
Mm-hmm. It's a tough one, but it's always fun to hear your commentary as well, Matt. We truly love it.
We need to do.
That would be a lot of fun. That would be a fun day of giving thing to do too. Just like just an hour long section where we're just trying to teach you the basics of Siege.
I'm just playing the game. I don't know.
Yeah, we're coaching you mid round. That would be so awesome. You play a ranked game. That would be so cool.
I'm only level 5. I don't think I can play ranked.
Well, then yeah, we can, or we can just give you a different account, and then you can try it.
Oh yeah, there we go. I'll try not to.
Mm-hmm.
But, all right, for everyone watching, thank you so much for all the latest. Well, actually, before that, as a reminder, we will have some matches. Our Smash team up against Valley State at 6:00 Eastern time. League of Legends at 8. All the latest updates will at Twitch X Facebook. Shout outs to all our supporters. HyperX for being sports. Also want to thank By Blue Light, Elgato, Incredaware, MSI, Kovac, all for subscriptions, gifts,